Modern people are living in quiet defeat, not because they lack talent, but because they lack mental strength. We chase comfort, drown in distractions, and wonder why we feel lost, fragile, or stuck. The truth, life isn't getting harder, we're just getting softer. But there's a way out. The ancient Stoics left us a roadmap not for a peaceful life, but for an unshakable one. In this video, we'll uncover 8 brutal Stoic laws that will rewire how you think, how you act, and how you face life. Stick with me because each one could change everything. 1. Face pain like a ruthless but loyal trainer. The obstacle is the way. Marcus Aurelius. Comfort is a silent killer. It doesn't scream, it seduces. It whispers, rest, scroll, numb out. And while you're lulled into ease, your edge dulls, your fire dims. Every time you avoid discomfort, you hand over power to fear, to weakness, to passivity. And make no mistake, avoidance is a habit, a dangerous one. But the Stoics knew better. Pain was not their enemy, it was their trainer, relentless, brutal, but committed to your growth. Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations on a beach with wine in hand. He wrote it on the battlefield, surrounded by betrayal, disease, and the weight of an empire. His calm wasn't born in peace, it was forged in fire. Here's the truth. Lifting weights is pointless if you're scared of sore muscles. Life is the same. If you avoid the small discomforts, you'll collapse when the real storms hit. So how do you train with pain? Take the cold shower when your mind screams number. Speak the hard truth instead of hiding. Sit still when boredom itches your skin. These aren't punishments, they're push-ups for your will. Because pain reveals who you are when everything else is stripped away. And when you walk into discomfort willingly, something shifts. You stop fearing it. You become the storm. Daily affirmation. Discomfort is my training ground. Not a threat, not a punishment, but a sacred arena where ordinary minds break and unshakable spirits are born. 2. Stop being a slave to emotion. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Epictetus. Think about it. One insult ruins your whole day. One unexpected comment hijacks your peace. That's not power, that's surrender. Emotions aren't your enemy, they're signals. But when you react blindly, when your emotions own your actions, you become a puppet, dancing to someone else's tune. The Stoics didn't suppress emotion, they studied it. They knew that beneath every emotional storm lies a mistaken belief. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Translation? It's not what happens that hurts you, it's what you tell yourself about what happens. A truly strong person feels their emotions, but doesn't let those emotions steer the ship. Anger rises, they breathe. Sadness knocks, they open the door, but don't let it move in. So how do you reclaim your mind? When triggered, pause. One breath can change your trajectory. Ask yourself, is this emotion useful right now? Don't react in 1 second, respond after 10. Here's the shift. Emotional control isn't coldness, it's command. It's the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't get pushed around by every opinion, every mood swing, every rude driver or bad headline. Daily reminder. I feel deeply, but I choose wisely. That's Stoic power, not to be untouched by life, but to be unmoved by nonsense. 3. Let go of fairness. Life owes you nothing. You can commit injustice by doing nothing. Marcus Aurelius. You did everything right and still got betrayed. You worked harder and watched someone less deserving get the reward. You gave love and got silence in return. And the voice inside you cries, it's not fair. But here's the brutal Stoic truth. Life isn't fair, and it never promised to be. Fairness is a human illusion. Nature doesn't care about effort, intentions, or how much you deserve something. Lions don't apologize to antelopes. Storms don't avoid the homes of good people. Here's what the Stoics knew. Expecting life to be fair only makes you fragile. When you demand fairness, you're begging the world to treat you kindly. But when you train for reality, you become unbreakable. Marcus Aurelius saw injustice daily as emperor of Rome, but instead of whining, he anchored himself in this belief. Strength, not fairness, determines who endures. You can choose to complain, or you can choose to build yourself so strong that even the most unfair blow cannot bend you. So how do you live with dignity in an unfair world? Stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What now?" Use betrayal as a forge for inner resolve. Do what's right, especially when life isn't. Here's the mindset shift. The average person waits for fairness. The Stoic prepares for chaos and walks through it calm, focused, and firm. Affirmation. I don't expect fairness, I train for reality. Because when you stop needing life to be fair, you finally start becoming free. 4. Focus on what you can control, let go of the rest. Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Epictetus. Most people are drowning in worry about the news, opinions, the future, the past. Why? Because they spend their energy on things they can't control. You don't control the weather, but you control your attitude. You don't control other people's words, but you control your response. You don't control the outcome, but you do control your effort. Here's what the Stoics mastered. Freedom begins the moment you draw the line between what's yours and what's not. It's like sailing in a storm. You can't calm the sea, but you can grip the wheel. While others panic, the Stoic navigates. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Modern life constantly tempts you to fight battles that aren't yours, to argue online, to predict the economy, to control people who don't want to change. That's a recipe for misery. Instead, choose radical clarity. Ask, is this within my control? If yes, act. If no, release. Let go doesn't mean give up. It means take your power back. Here's the truth. When you stop trying to control everything, you gain mastery over the one thing that truly matters, yourself. Daily affirmation. I focus on what I can control. The rest is not mine to carry. And in that simplicity, you find peace. 5. Choose hardship before life chooses it for you. Is this the condition I feared? Seneca. Most people train for comfort. The Stoic trains for chaos. In a world obsessed with ease, fast food, fast pleasure, fast results, discipline becomes a superpower. And the Stoics knew this long ago. If you only grow when life forces you, you'll always be one step behind. That's why Seneca slept on the floor, wore simple clothes, and ate bland food. Not because he had to, but because he chose to. He asked himself, if I lost it all, would I survive? Here's the truth. The easiest path builds the weakest spine. The mind grows not by escaping struggle, but by entering it on purpose. Voluntary hardship is how you train your spirit before life hits you. You fast not to punish your body, but to free it. You wake up early, not because it's comfortable, but because it builds command. You say no to luxury not out of scarcity, but out of strength. Every time you choose discomfort voluntarily, you send a signal to your soul. I am not fragile. I can endure more than I think. When hardship eventually comes, and it will, you won't flinch, because you've already walked through fire. By choice. Try this. Skip a meal and notice your hunger without panic. Take a cold shower and breathe through it. Say no to something you want, just to prove you can. Discipline isn't deprivation, it's preparation. Daily affirmation. I don't wait for hardship, I train for it. And that's how you stop fearing pain and start becoming forged by it. 6. Detach from outcomes, fall in love with the process. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Marcus Aurelius. You start the project. You give your best. But no one notices. No one claps. You feel like a failure. Why? Because you tied your worth to the result, not the effort. But here's the Stoic shift. Let go of the outcome, master the process. You can't control how the world receives your work, but you can control how you show up. The Stoic doesn't write to be praised, he writes to be sharpened. She doesn't train to be admired, she trains to be disciplined. They don't love to be validated, they love because it's who they are. Results are unstable, they're delayed, distorted, sometimes never delivered. But the process, that's yours, every day, every action, every breath. When you detach from the outcome, paradoxically, you become more powerful. Why? Because you're no longer desperate. You're not addicted to applause. You're not crushed by failure. You're grounded in effort, in focus, in virtue. So practice this. Show up today as if the outcome is already certain. Fall in love with the reps, the words, the sweat. Let the world reward you when or if it wants. You've already won by doing the work. Stoic mindset. I work with intensity, not expectation. Daily affirmation. My value lies in my discipline, not in results. Because when you love the process, you become unstoppable. 7. Embrace death. Live with urgency and purpose. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Marcus Aurelius. We act like we're immortal. We delay dreams. We stay in bad habits. We waste days as if we've got 1,000 more waiting. But here's the brutal truth. You're dying, right now. And every hour you scroll, every moment you hesitate, every word left unsaid, those are pieces of your life you'll never get back. That's why the Stoics practiced memento mori. Remember you must die. Not to scare themselves, but to wake up. When you remember death, life becomes urgent. You stop waiting for someday. You stop tolerating mediocrity. You stop fearing embarrassment, judgment, failure. Because the ultimate failure is to waste the time you were given. Seneca said, "It's not that life is short, it's that we waste much of it." So don't just exist, live intentionally. Call the person. Start the business. Write the book. Say, "I'm sorry." Say, "I love you." Let go. Begin. Daily practice. Ask yourself each morning, if today were my last day, what would I do differently? Journal your regrets before they happen. Walk through your day like it matters because it does. You don't need more time, you need more clarity. Daily affirmation. I live as if time is borrowed because it is. And when death no longer scares you, you finally start living fully. 8. Be a warrior for virtue, not approval. Just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. Marcus Aurelius. Most people live for the crowd. For the likes, the applause, the "you're so amazing" comments. But what happens when the noise stops? Who are you then? The Stoic doesn't move for praise. The Stoic moves for principle. You hold your word not because someone's watching, but because it defines who you are. You speak the truth not because it's easy, but because it's right. You train hard not for recognition, but because excellence is a duty. Here's the trap. When you live for approval, you become a mirror shifting, bending, reflecting what others want to see. But when you live for virtue, you become a mountain still, firm, unmoved. Seneca reminds us, I will govern my life and thoughts as if the whole world were to see the one and read the other. That's real power, not status, not followers, not fame, but integrity. So how do you live with virtue? Choose what's right, even when no one sees. Refuse to bend your values for popularity. Do the work in silence, let your character speak. The Stoic understands. Approval is fleeting, but virtue endures. Daily affirmation. I live for truth, not for applause. When you stop needing the crowd, something amazing happens. You lead yourself, you respect yourself, and, ironically, others begin to follow. Because in a world of noise, authenticity echoes the loudest. Conclusion. No one is born unshakable, but every small decision, every time you choose discipline over comfort, is a brick laid on the path to inner strength. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Right now. One day at a time. One choice at a time. Until one day, you look back and realize nothing moves you anymore. If this message sparked something in you, don't let it fade. Like the video, drop a comment, I choose strength, and subscribe, because this journey is just beginning. Welcome to the Stoic Habit, where we train the mind, not just motivate it.